Do you want to stay in Canada for more than 6 months as a visitor? Hi, it's your girl Penny, and I'm here to tell you all about this. Now, there's a special long term visa which allows you to visit Canada for an extended period without you having to renew your status. It's a multi entry visa which is valid for up to 10 years. And unlike a regular visitor visa that usually allows you to stay up to 6 months, this visa allows you to stay in Canada for up to 5 years at a time without having to renew your status or having to leave Canada and return. It's designed to help families to stay longer during visits. Now, this visa is designed for parents and grandparents of Canadian citizens or permanent residents. So, for all the Canadians who are worried that they might not be able to sponsor their parent or grandparent, or maybe worried that they will not be able to have their parent or grandparent here in Canada with them for a longer period rather than 6 months, now this visa is the option for you. And as Canadians, especially immigrants, it is always important to us to have our parent and grandparent here with us because we all know they provide us with so much support mentally, emotionally, socially, and especially when we have kids. They are always here to support us in growing the kids, assisting in the household, assisting to take the kids to school, assisting to babysit, especially when we have young babies and all of that, right? So this one is a good one for you to apply for your parent and your grandparent, especially now in a situation where Canada has not opened up any new applications to sponsor your parent or grandparent. Now, here are the perks of this super visa. One, you have longer stay duration in Canada. So, compared to the 6 months on a regular visitor visa, this visa allows you to stay 5 years. Yes, 5 years. Can you imagine going to a country and able to stay 5 years in the country on a visitor status? No, isn't that amazing? Yep. So, you can stay 5 years in the country without having to exit and return. Okay. It's a multi entry visa, as I had mentioned earlier, which means that you are able to travel back and forth for a period of 10 years without before you have to go to renew or apply for another visa. So when this visa is granted to you, it's more and likely gonna be a 10-year visa. There's a little trick to ensure that you get this 10-year visa, so continue watching this video so I can tell you about that little trick, because there's a possibility that you might not get a 10-year visa. Okay, so as I mentioned, multiple entry. So if you don't want to stay 5 years, you just want to spend 8 months, 1 year, 16 months, 2 years, you can still do that and exit and re-enter and exit as many number of times as you want to, up to the 10 years. Now, another perk, no need for frequent renewals. As I had said, you would get up to 10 years. That means, in this day and age when nobody wants to spend any additional money to be paying for visa application fee and all these things. So having something for 10 years is a plus. It saves you money. Medical insurance is provided, or I should say, medical insurance is a requirement for this visa. So when you come as a visitor on a regular visiting visa or non-immigrant visa that you stay up to 6 months, you have no medical insurance coverage. And if anything should happen to you in Canada, you would have to foot that bill out of your pocket. And we all know healthcare ain't cheap here in Canada unless you have the publicly funded government insurance, which is only available to permanent residents, Canadian citizens, and refugees with country status. Okay, so with your application, when you're applying for this visa, you are required to apply for a medical insurance certificate. Normally, it is supposed to value up to $100,000, and this will cover your parent or your grandparent in the case of any emergency. They have an accident, they fall sick, they need to go to the hospital or to the doctor or so. Okay, so that's a big burden off your shoulder. Um, reuniting with the family. No, we always like to spend quality time with our parent and grandparent, especially or the grandchildren. We always want them to be able to spend time, and we know how vital and important it is for our parents and our grandparents to be in our life to help us to grow and to nurture, especially our children, and just to help in the household, help with the family, right? And also, this process to apply for the super visa is a streamlined application process. So, compared to the other long term visas, such as filing or sponsorship, this one is much more simpler and straightforward. Now, there are certain requirements for the super visa. Okay. You can only apply for this visa for your parent or your grandparent. Okay. And you have to be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. Those are the only two statuses that are allowed to apply for this visa for their parent and grandparent. So that's the relationship has to be established. There has to be a letter of invitation. So you, the daughter or the son or the granddaughter or the grandson, needs to write and sign an invitation letter inviting your parent or grandparent to visit Canada. And also in the letter, you must include that you promise to provide financial support for that parent or grandparent for the duration of their stay. Okay. You need to provide proof of relationship. So as I had mentioned earlier, there has to be a relationship, parent and grandparent or grandchildren, and and the supporting document could be in the form of a birth certificate or adoption papers as proof of relationship. Okay. Financial support. Now, you, the grandchild or the child, has to show that you are going to support your parent or grandparent while they are in Canada. Okay. And there's a minimum income threshold that you need to meet in order to to show that you are eligible to take care of this person, or you're in the financial position to take care of this person. And I will comment, or I'll provide you with another video about how to show all of those financial support. So drop a comment. Let me know if you need more information about proof of financial support. These could be in the form of a notice of assessment, a pay stub, job letter, T4 statement. Also, if the parent or grandparent have finances, they can also show that. So just in case, say for example, they're gaining pension, they have a business or any form of employment, they can also show proof of financial support. But you, the grandchild or the child, need to show proof of income, and you also have to meet the minimum income threshold. And I can shed some more light on that, provide you with details. Just let me know if you need more information. Now, as it has to do with the medical insurance, you have to apply for a medical insurance for the parent and grandparent. This is one of the mandatory documents that has to be attached to the application. Okay. The insurance coverage has to be for at least 1 year. Okay. And it must cover healthcare, hospitalization, and repatriation. And as I had mentioned, it should be a coverage of over $100,000. Okay. Or a minimum of $100,000. Now, also, I can provide you with insurance companies that provide these super visa insurance. So let me know in the comment, DM me, send me an email. Let me know if you need a list of insurance companies that you can reach out to or you can apply to get the insurance coverage. Okay. Your parent or grandparent will need to do a medical exam. And this medical exam has to be by a Canadian approved panel physician. This medical exam has to be done by the approved panel physician that is in the country from which your parent or grandparent is applying. And with that said, another requirement is the parent or grandparent cannot apply for this visa in Canada. So even if they're here visiting Canada, they will have to return to their home country and apply for the visa from their home country. When it's time for them to do the medical exam, it has to be done in that country in which they're applying from, and done by the approved panel physicians. Okay. And there is also, depending on the country you're applying for, there's also a link to the IRCC website that shows you the approved medical offices in the various countries. Okay. You need a travel document for sure. So whether it's a passport or other travel document that is required for your country, the parent or grandparent will need that, and they will also need to complete the application form. Now, the process of applying for the super visa, as I mentioned to you, can be quite easy, especially if you have someone who can guide you. And I, for sure, I've done numerous of these applications. I can provide you with guidance, with information, as I had mentioned before. You collect all the documents together, the invitation letter, proof of the relationship, which is the birth certificate or the adoption document, proof of income, the medical insurance certificate, passport, results of the medical exam. And the results for the medical exam is most likely going to be sent directly to IRCC from the medical office. So you normally, the medical office does not give you the exam results in your hand to attach to the application when you're submitting the application. They normally send it directly to Immigration Canada for processing. Okay, you complete the application form, complete the other forms such as the family information form, you pay the fees, and normally the fees include the application fee and the biometric fees. Now, if you can remember, I did say to you that there is a little bit of trick when it comes on to getting the 10-year visa. Now, Canada only issue visa, or the length or the duration of the visa that Canada issues does not go beyond the validity of your travel document or the validity of your passport. Okay, so let me explain this. If your passport expires the 31st of December 2025, Canada will not give you a visa beyond the 31st of December 2025. They don't issue visas beyond the validity of your travel document. Okay? Also, for this particular visa, it will not be issued beyond the validity of your biometrics. Okay. So it is always important, if you have a passport or a travel document that is going to expire soon, say for example your passport is going to expire in October 2025, all right, or even next year January or February 2026, it is always good for you to renew your visa first, just to ensure that when you're submitting that passport or that travel document, you have 10 years or almost 10 years available, because they will only give you the visa up to when the passport expires. Okay, so that's one tip. Always ensure that there is long stay or long availability time in your passport. And if your passport is close to expiration, just go ahead, renew it, and get a brand new passport which has 10 years or as close to 10 years as possible. And also, if you have ever done a biometric for Canada for any other forms of visas, whether visiting visas or so, and your biometric is less than 10 years, they will also not give you the super visa beyond the validity of the biometrics. So it is always important, say for example, you had a 1 year or a single entry or a 5 year or a 3 year visa before, and you had done a biometric, because biometrics normally last for 10 years. And if you had done a biometric 5 years before and you only have 5 years left in your biometric, it's always important to just pay the extra money to do a new biometric. And when you do a new biometric, it lasts for 10 years. So then you will ensure that your visa also lasts for 10 years. So two things, your biometric and your travel document or passport needs to be valid for 10 years in order to get the 10-year visa. If it's only valid for 8 years, you're only going to get 8-year visa. And, you know, now you submit your application, and the application can be submitted online or it can be submitted through a visa application center. The good thing about this visa is we all know that sometimes our parent or grandparent are not very techy. Okay, they're not very versed on computers and phones and doing online application, uploading documents and all of that. So we, as the children or the grandchildren, can actually apply for these visa on behalf of our parent or grandparent. We can actually apply online for them. Okay, but they will need to be in their own country, because they will have to go to the visa application center to go and do their biometric, to do their fingerprint, take their picture, submit their passport and all of these things. Okay, but we could actually do the application online on their behalf, upload all the documents, submit it for them. Okay, so that's one good thing about this. We can help them with the process of applying because they might not be very good when it comes on to paperwork and applying and computer and all of that. Or as I mentioned, they could actually go in person to apply at the nearest visa application center within their country. Okay. The processing time varies based on the country that you're applying for and whatever processing time it is in that country. And if there's any other anything else that can delay the process maybe or speed up the process, it varies. Just always ensure that you have all the required documents to upload and submit with your application, so they don't have to be reaching out to you for missing information or missing document. But we all know that whenever you apply for any type of visas or sponsorship or anything like that, the processing time varies on the country in which you're applying for, or just the processing time overall for visas for the particular country. And once the decision has been made on your application, your super visa is approved, they will reach out to you via email through your online portal that you will be setting up whenever you're applying, telling you to submit your passport rather. When you submit your passport, they put that super visa and you're ready to travel and you can stay for 5 years. And one more thing, it is always good to ensure that whenever your parent or grandparent is going to travel, you give them a copy of the medical insurance. Because upon arrival in Canada, the immigration officer may ask them to provide a copy or proof of valid medical insurance for their stay, for the duration of their stay. Okay, so that medical insurance certificate that you uploaded with the application or submitted with the application, also ensure that you give your parent or grandparent a copy of this document, whether on their phone or a printed paper copy to submit with their application. All right, so remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know any more details that you might need about this application. Also remember that I'm available to help you with applying for the super visa. I'll provide you more information. I'll give you more step-by-step guides. I'll give you like list of insurance companies that you can apply to for the certificate. I can give you even templates for the invitation, because the invitation is kind of a little bit of a lengthy invitation explaining everything about the purpose of travel or the reason for travel and all of that. Okay, so remember, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at It's Pengy. That's ITSPENGIE. And also the link is in my bio where you can actually find ways to reach out to me. My email address, if you want to send me a quick email. If you don't want to drop a comment, you don't feel comfortable to write your business or write your question in the comment, just send me an email. I'll respond to you via email, providing you any additional information you will need. And also, I need to let you know that I have a book coming out soon. It's actually going to be an online book, an ebook with ways of migrating to Canada and step-by-step processes of how to apply to Canada. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know when that's launched. So it's your girl Pengy, and until the next video, I'll see you around. Bye.